It's Pitch Pick'em on 1045theteam.com.
1045 The Team and 1045theteam.com as we get set for another slate of Premier League action this weekend. To quickly recap last week's games, Liverpool, Man United, the big game of the week. A late Ibrahimovic equalizer made it a 1-1 draw. Also, Everton demolishes Manchester City 4-0 with a pair of 19-year-olds scoring for them. Everton looks to keep their momentum going as they take on Crystal Palace this week. We'll get into that matchup in just 1 second.
It's time for Matt Wood's Lock of the Week.
But the first big matchup of the week, Liverpool versus Swansea City. A very disappointing finish to last week's game against Manchester United. Liverpool looked to bounce back against Swansea City, a team that they should beat. This one is my lock of the week. Liverpool still not sure if they're going to have Joel Matip back for this one. He is still going through that confusing situation involving FIFA and his not playing for the Cameroon national team in the AFCON Cup. But this is one Liverpool should be able to walk all over Swansea City. 3-0 Liverpool over Swansea City. AFC Bournemouth and Watford. These two teams have had 3 straight draws playing each other. Bournemouth coming off a loss last week. Watford coming off a draw. I think Junior Stanislas is going to be the guy to get AFC Bournemouth over the top against Watford and move them up the table a little bit. I'm going to go with AFC Bournemouth in this one. They look to be the team that they've been steady all year. Watford has kind of been up and down, never really been consistent. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2-1 over Watford. We mentioned this next one earlier. Crystal Palace hosting Everton. Everton coming off a fantastic display last week as they manhandled Manchester City 4-0. The pair of 19-year-olds, Davies and Lookman, both getting their first ever goals for the club. They now get set to face a Crystal Palace team looking to basically just stay afloat in this chase to stay out of relegation. They have no Wilfred Zaha still. He is in the AFCON. So in all seriousness, Crystal Palace may just be looking for a draw in this one. Everton is coming in with all their firepower. Could have been my lock of the week. I'm going to stick with Liverpool over Swansea for that one. But this game, I'm going to go 3-0 Everton over Crystal Palace. Next up, we have Middlesbrough versus West Ham United. Middlesbrough coming off their draw against Watford. They look to bounce back and get some points and start making some headway up the table. West Ham ended their 3-game skid with their obliteration of Crystal Palace, 3-0. And I think West Ham stays on a roll. This team is starting to click. Dimitri Payet is not with the team. He is basically just been a distraction for them most of the year anyway. The guys are really focusing on scoring goals, and their offense seems to be clicking a lot better. Andy Carroll with a fantastic goal last week. If you haven't seen it, get on YouTube, get somewhere and watch this goal. One of the better goals you will see all year. So West Ham, the way they're playing right now, they are the team I'm going to go with. I'm going to say this is going to be 2-0 West Ham over Middlesbrough. Stoke City versus Manchester United is our next matchup. Both teams have been looking decent of late. Manchester United a little more so. They had a draw against Liverpool. Stoke City coming off their win against Sunderland 3-1. They look to keep this pace going. Crouch is playing at a fantastic level right now, but I believe the excellence of Manchester United will be too much for Stoke City this weekend. I think Pogba is going to have to come back. He had a rough week last week against Liverpool. A couple fouls on him, one of which you probably could have said would have got him a red card, and I think he knows that. I think he's going to want to bounce back in this one and show his form that he's been at all year, and he's been a very good player for Man U. Ibrahimovic is a guy that will probably hit another goal in this one the way he's going. There's nobody in this league can stop him at the moment. He is tied with a couple others with 14 goals, leading the Premier League this season. So I'm going to go with Manchester United in this one. I think they get past Stoke City. I'm going to say 2-1 Manchester United over Stoke. West Brom against Sunderland is our next matchup. That's a 10 p.m. game as well. Both teams struggling of late. West Brom has had back-to-back losses. They have not played well, have not played up to par, and have looked just chaotic at times. They don't seem to have everything together at the moment. Although, if they're going to bounce back, Sunderland may be a good team to get the bounce back from. Sunderland has only 2 points out of their last 5 matches. And if it's not for Jermaine Defoe, this team is probably not even where they are now. They might be even farther down the table. So Defoe has kind of rescued Sunderland to this point. But this game, I think, easily will go to West Brom. I feel like it's time they finally get back on track and show us the team that they were earlier in the Premier League season. I'm going to go West Brom 2-1 over Sunderland.
It's time for the match of the week.
And the last game, the premier game on Saturday, Manchester City hosting Tottenham Hotspur. This one will be the game of the week. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola has taken the heat, taken the criticism of late. Can he get his team to respond against probably the hottest team in the EPL at the moment in Tottenham? They have just been nothing but straight up phenomenal. Harry Kane with a hat trick last week. I think he continues that this week. However, I think this is where Sergio Aguero gets back to form. I'm going to take Man City in this one. I think they bounce back, but this will be the game that Pep gets his guys to play the way they should play. Kevin De Bruyne, he has not looked up to the form that we're normally used to seeing him at. Sergio Aguero, I think, will score the only goal in this one. Manchester City 1-0 over Tottenham. We take it now to Sunday's matchup where we have three iffy matchups. I mean, they're not quite what we expect from the Tottenham-Manchester City game, but we'll lead it off with Southampton versus Leicester City. Two teams coming off devastating losses. How will they respond? How will they get back to their winning ways? I don't think either of them will get back to their winning ways in this one, though. This, to me, looks like the straight-up draw of the week that I think will be one of the more entertaining games. Leicester looked putrid against Chelsea last week. I don't see them scoring anytime soon. Jamie Vardy has not been himself since coming back from the red card suspension. I think he'll need another few games until we see the Jamie Vardy of old. I think Southampton has looked decent all year. As long as they don't sell, I think they should be middle of the pack, maybe make their way towards the top 7 of the table. But this game to me just screams draw, and I think that's how it'll end. I think it'll be 0-0. Southampton and Leicester City. Arsenal-Burnley, the 9:15 a.m. matchup on Sunday morning. Arsenal looking to maintain form as Burnley coming off a win. They want to get back-to-back wins for the first time in 4 games. And I think this one would be a close game. I think this one will actually be one of the closer games on Sunday. I think you'll see Burnley really compete with Arsenal, but I think Arsenal will battle back and take this one in the end. I think it's going to be too much Olivier Giroud, too much Alexis Sanchez. I think he comes back after having a weird sideline outburst against Swansea City and their 4-0 bludgeoning of the Swans. Arsenal, to me, looks like the better team in this one, and I always go towards a team that is in better form at the moment. They have 4 wins in their last 5 matches, including a draw in there. So I'm going to take Arsenal in this one. I'm going to take them 2-0 over Burnley. And lastly, probably the most unanticipated game of the week, Chelsea hosting Hull City. We may get something close to a baseball score out of this one. I think this one is a no-brainer. Will Diego Costa play or not? We do not know. However, if he does, if he doesn't, it's not going to matter. Chelsea will crush Hull. Either way, I'm going to take this one 5-0 Chelsea over Hull. So with that, now we recap the entire table. Chelsea still on top with 52 points. Tottenham and Liverpool 45 points, battling it out, trying to catch the Blues. Arsenal sitting in 4th with 44 points. Following them, Manchester City, who's dipped a little bit now. They now have 42 points. Manchester United, 40 points, sitting in 6th after their draw against Liverpool. Everton staying in 7th now with 33 points. West Brom following them in 8th, 29 points. Stoke City in 9th with 27 points. Burnley now 10th with 26 points. 25 points for both AFC Bournemouth and West Ham United in 11th and 12th. Southampton in 13th with 24 points. Watford following them in 14th with 23 points. 21 points for Leicester City. They sit 15th. Middlesbrough 16th with 20 points. Crystal Palace 17th with 16 points. And then we get into relegation with Hull City 18th at 16 points. And Sunderland and Swansea with 15 points apiece and 19th and 20th respectively. And that has been Pitch Pick'em here on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com.